1 billion cups every single day. It takes the dedication of over 100,000 farmers, 13 million bags of beans, and 24 cutting-edge factories operating endlessly across the globe. Turning raw coffee cherries into the instant brew enjoyed by millions is an incredibly complicated, highly scientific journey. It all kicks off in coffee-growing powerhouses like Brazil and Vietnam. The journey begins when delicate white flowers mature into vibrant red cherries. When 95% of the cherries are red and only a few greenish ones remain, it is time to harvest. While hand-picking is still a tradition, it is a slow and costly process. So larger farms unleash a specialized mechanical beast. As the machine passes over the plants, 1,500 vibrating rods on rotating cylinders gently shake the branches. Vibrating 1,000 times per minute, they cause the ripe cherries to rain into fish plates below. Spending just 2 to 3 seconds on each tree, this machine collects 60 bags of cherries in about 5 hours, making quick work of what used to take days. Slat conveyor belts transfer the harvest into hoppers, acting as storage while tractors carry the cherries to the processing plant. Instant coffee actually had a clumsy introduction back in 1890, but it was largely ignored. The man truly behind today's modern empire was a Swiss chemist named Max Morgenthaler. Following the 1929 Wall Street crash, Brazil faced a massive, crippling coffee surplus. Tasked by Nestle to save these beans from rotting, Morgenthaler spent 7 agonizing years locked in a lab. In 1938, he finally perfected the Nescafé formula, a way to turn liquid coffee into a stable powder without destroying its soul. Morgenthaler's revolutionary formula relied on extracting the absolute purest coffee flavor. Today, protecting that exact purity starts the moment those tractors arrive at the wet mill. Just 8 to 12 hours after harvest, the cherries face the gravity test. Funneled into a massive water separator, physics takes over. Ripe, heavy cherries sink while the defective ones float to be discarded. The survivors tumble into rotating drums. The machine forcefully presses the fruit against fixed plates, skillfully stripping the juicy red pulp away from the precious beans inside. But the beans are still trapped in a stubborn, slimy coating called mucilage. To strip this away, they are submerged in ceramic-lined fermentation tanks. Here, clean mountain water and natural enzymes break down the slime over 12 to 24 hours. Farmers must monitor this constantly because even a small misstep could ruin Morgenthaler's flavor profile. When the mucilage softens, industrial mechanics give way to the human touch. A farmer vigorously stirs the beans with a long wooden tool, scrubbing away the sticky residue. They drain the murky water and refill the tank until the beans are completely spotless. Now thoroughly washed, the beans take a sunbath on flat drying beds. After 1 to 2 weeks of constant raking, they hit a mathematically precise moisture level, exactly 11%. Finally, a hulling machine strips away the outer parchment layer, revealing the vibrant green coffee beans. Packed into 60-kilogram jute bags, labeled with exact origin details for full traceability, the green beans finally arrive at the factory. But here the heavy lifting is strictly mechanical. A specialized robotic arm, equipped with a spider gripper, effortlessly lifts the massive bags onto a conveyor belt. It is a calculated move designed entirely to prevent human back injuries. As the bags glide forward, they pass over a precise moisture sensor. If a bag's humidity is off by even a fraction, it is instantly rejected. Further down the line, a robotic probe aggressively punches into a passing bag, stealing a random sample of beans for testing. Before reaching the heat, vibrating floors in a sifting machine violently shake the beans, filtering out any lingering debris. But despite this impenetrable wall of automation, the ultimate gatekeeper is human. Expert tasters, armed with highly calibrated palates, sample up to 100 brewed cups every single day. They hunt for the slightest flavor variations because one single defective bean can ruin an entire cup. Once approved, the beans enter the inferno, an industrial rotating drum heated to a scorching 370 to 540 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside, heavy paddles keep the beans tumbling in constant motion, ensuring a perfectly even roast lasting 8 to 20 minutes. Here lies the paradox of roasting. You might assume a dark roast packs the most energy, but light roasts, which spend less time in the drum, actually retain more caffeine. Darker roasts burn off that caffeine, trading it for a bolder, deeper flavor. Finally, the scorching beans cascade into a massive cooling tray. A powerful fan blasts air from below while sifting arms violently swirl them around. In just 5 to 10 minutes, the roasting process is frozen in its tracks. Once cooled, an industrial mill ruthlessly crushes the beans into a coarse powder. This is then brewed under intense steam and pressure into a dark, strong liquid coffee extract. Now the factory faces Morgenthaler's original paradox. How do you turn a liquid into a dry powder without destroying its soul? They use two radically different scientific methods. The first is violent, spray drying. The liquid extract is forced into a massive drying tower, atomized through a high-pressure nozzle into a microscopic mist. In a fraction of a second, a blast of scorching hot air, heated to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit and traveling at 400 miles per hour, collides with the droplets. The moisture instantly vaporizes. What falls to the bottom are tiny, perfectly dry, solid coffee particles, forming the classic instant powder. But for premium blends, the process takes a sophisticated, almost magical turn. Freeze drying. First, the rich extract is heated until it condenses into a thick, heavy concentrate resembling toffee. This still hot liquid is transported into a 30-meter freezing hall where temperatures plummet to a bone-chilling minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit. It emerges as a continuous solid sheet of dark coffee ice, only to be ruthlessly shattered by rotating blades into tiny frozen granules. Then comes the final feat of physics: sublimation. These frozen granules are spread onto large sheets resembling cooking trays and pushed into a low-pressure vacuum tube. Here, they are gently heated to 140 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 grueling hours. Because of the extreme low-pressure environment, the frozen water is physically unable to melt. It transforms directly from solid ice into vapor, skipping the liquid phase entirely. An internal vacuum whisks the vapor away, leaving behind flawlessly dry granules with every ounce of rich flavor permanently locked inside. At this point, the perfectly stable dry coffee granules are sent to the packaging area. They are deposited into large storage sacks and funneled onto a massive conveyor belt to fill the jars. As the glass jars whiz along the track, each one is filled in less than a single second. Operating at blistering speeds, some factories can fill as many as 320 jars a minute. That is a staggering 250,000 jars daily. Instantly, the jar is sealed airtight to lock in the freshness, guaranteeing that every scoop remains as flavorful as the day it was made. A cap is applied over the seal, a label is wrapped tight, and the instant coffee magic is ready to be shipped to stores worldwide. Every brutal mechanical step plays a crucial role in making sure that when your cup is poured, it is nothing short of coffee perfection. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there is something you would like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.